Today we're being joined by Swiss. He's got a brand new album. It is called PEPA, an ode to the journey. So today is all about a talanoa, catching up on the journey that has been Swiss since he's entered into the music scene. Malo lele toko, whiwhihake.
Saibe malo.
I feel like I'm being too formal.
No,
like,
you're good.
We just finished chatting like real cruisy and all of a sudden like...
As soon as the cameras come on, we all of a sudden, like...
We're being professionals.
Yeah,
That's what we are. But welcome to New FM. Welcome to our wave room. So Swiss, take whatever PlayDoh you're going to take.
Yeah.
What's your favorite color? So I was going to take the blue. Okay,
Blue.
See, how cool is this? New FM? We have our own branding. But PEPA is an ode to the journey. So, for everyone that has... might not be familiar with your journey so far. 2013, you released your first album, Lucky Man.
Yeah.
I remember way back to 2012, your Slow Wine EP, that song went crazy. You signed up to Dawn Reid's Entertainment, and obviously all these years now, your journey and your music career, has been a blessing because sometimes for some people, they're not lucky enough to be in this industry that long. Yeah. So the journey of Swiss, can you take us through how your career actually started while you create?
Man, I think when I first started off, I think as a kid I've always been into music, and I don't want to say that same cliche story of like
church and stuff
like that, but like there was a lot of music being played at home, and I think I like always loved music, and it made me feel a certain way that I wanted to be able to create my own. Like I found a way to be able to, like, I would hear songs like, say for example, like a perfect example when my my dog was taken away by the what do they call them?
SPCA people?
Yeah. No, because my dad, like, the dog had been noisy, so my dad like finally decided that he's gonna call someone to come pick up the dog.
Oh,
and then when they took the dog away, I still remember they took the dog away, and I went and sat in my room and I played this Boyz II Men song, which is like a love song, but it's a sad, like, breaking up song. I was young, but like, you know what I mean? I guess I sort of figured then that it was an expression thing, like, you know what I mean? And music sort of made me feel a certain way, and I sort of, saw it a bit differently. Like I then knew that I could add like music to my life story and things like that. So
what was the Boyz II Men song?
I'm doing just fine.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm getting along very well.
So every time you hear that song now, do you just think back to the dog?
No, not necessarily. But I mean, at the time, like, that song was on, and I was like sitting there sad that the dog had gone. So
you had music in playing Iapi. What kind of music was your family into? Like, I think for us, I remember hearing a lot of reggae, a lot of like hip hop and rap growing up. What was the sound in the Swiss household?
Yeah, I think it was it was all a mixture. I think mixture was from my parents' side of things. We had my cousin Foni Pauleo playing, and then we also had like Pilatomu. So it was like Vaini Tongan artists in a way. Or obviously Ulisse and all that too. And then my brothers were into Boyz II Men. I shouldn't have been listening to Boyz II Men at that young.
Why?
Oh, because
their voices are amazing.
I was singing "I'll Make Love to You." My mum told me off, and I think I was like, like.
I mean, look, kids now are singing Nani, so what's the difference?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I think we're a bit safer singing, but still, I think, it was a mixture. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, all different sort of influences. And then you had like Fiji, UB40, all those sort of things. So it was a mixture of R&B and reggae, I guess.
Does it buzz you out? Like you've mentioned Fiji. Does it buzz you out that now you've got to perform alongside and be on the same stages? People like Fiji and UB40 and all these other Pacific artists that are around the world?
Yeah, hard. I think, man, like I always say to people are like, oh, what's it like to actually chill with Fiji? I'm different, like... no matter how many times I see him, I always hold him like at a different, at the level that I've always sort of seen him. It's like it's weird for me to become, like. So
you're always remaining a fan before the artist, I guess.
Yeah, I'm always starstruck in some sense. Like, like it's like the relationship is still very much like fam, but I mean, like there's still parts of me who catch myself like humming his things while I'm around him. Like, you know what I mean? Like unknowingly doing it, but because I'm still a massive fan, and everything he releases, I'm still listening to it all the time. So.
I mean, he's not the GOAT for. He's not the GOAT for like just nothing.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
At what he does. So you come into 2012. You've got Slow Wine going. I want to be honest. I don't even know how the song came about. I just kind of remember discovering it online or something like that, and I was like, oh my gosh, who is this guy? How did everything start leading up into Slow Wine?
When I was about 14, my dad sent us up to North Queensland to go and spend some time with some of our family who was picking grapes up there.
Yeah.
And then when I was there,
Shout out
some
to
of
the
my
Dollies.
and then some of my other cousins came up and they were already recording music. And then I realized that you didn't need to go to any big studio to record music. So then I literally took everything that they were using, not took it physically, but like, sort of figured out how to do it. And then, when I started writing my own music and stuff, and then about maybe, so from 14, about 5 years from then, I created Slow Wine.
Yeah.
And it was a rhythm that was sent to me by one of our fellow New Zealand artists, Israel Star. And he sent it to me and he was like, Toko, at the same time I was doing like more so R&B sort of stuff. And he was like, I wonder how you'd sound on something like this. And then, that was the birth of
Slow Wine and
Slow Wine
Swiss.
And a different,
Was it what you expected it to be though? Once you released that track? Because obviously whatever your goals and ambitions will always be different from whatever outcome is in life in general.
Yeah.
So once Slow Wine released, was the career that started for you what you hoped it would be, or was it more?
I didn't think it was going to pop off the way that it did.
Yeah.
And to be very honest with you, I think, it was more than I expected. It was like my life just changed so drastically in a big way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's, I don't know if I've even spoken about it much, but I took a break in 2014 and I went back to Brisbane and just went and worked the normal 9 to 5 because of the drastic change that, that it was, you know what I mean?
What was it about the change that got too much and made you say, let me just go back and
I think it was
9 to 5?
Yeah, I think it was the pressure of now being this person that I sort of like. I mean, I always dreamed of being a professional singer and stuff like that. I just didn't know that there was gonna be a pressure to like uphold, certain things. Like I think for me it was more like. I went from this kid who was wearing rugby shorts and, around everywhere to someone who had to watch what he dressed just in case he had to take photos somewhere or like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And then I would go out to the mall and stuff like that. And I just felt like all eyes were on me in a sense. And like, to be honest with you, it probably wasn't, but like my mind was just, like I was under this, whole thing. And I was just, it sort of took me into a really bad space and I needed to go home. You know what I mean? So,
I think that's on self-awareness that you actually knew that. Let me just go malolo. Have a little bit of a break.
There was other stuff that was thing, but I think that was one of the biggest things. It was just having to make this massive change, and I wasn't ready for it.
And is that something you're more aware of now? When to take a step back, when to have a break, when things get a bit too much?
Yeah. I think now I know when to just be like, nah, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? And it's not anything like sometimes it may come off as me being like arrogant or something like that. But at the end of the day, my biggest thing is that for me to be able to give my best in everything that I do, I need to look after myself first. So if there's something that I don't feel that's right, I need to say no to those things. You know what I mean? So perfect example is, I do drink less than I did before because I've learned
two of us.
It gives me like a different, you know what I mean? Like it gives me the hangovers aren't worth it anymore. And then I take so long to recover
and stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think the self-awareness is definitely there nowadays. So.
I love that. So after Slow Wine and that's come through, you've obviously been around for quite a bit of time. Yeah. You signed up to Dawn Reid Entertainment. What was that like kickstarting your career back then with Dawn Reid?
Massive. I think Dawn Reid is still very much to date one of the biggest Polynesian labels to ever touch this earth. It was massive. I came in and I got to stand next to artists that I used to watch on this shows my age, but Coca-Cola RTR.
Damn, you old, not
If you know what it is, you're old too then.
I don't. What is it?
Nah.
Is it like Just TV?
So it used to be like man. It used to be on TV2 when I was a kid.
What is it called?
And it used to Coca-Cola RTR. It was Ready to Roll, I think. Or
I'm being honest.
But it used to be.
it
used to be video clips, and it used to go from like 20 all the way down to 1.
See, that's how young I am. I actually don't remember.
Yeah. But like I used to watch Savage and Naradna and stuff like that on there, and like to be able to actually
Like,
be in their presence and like call these guys, these are my label guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is my crew. It was actually me, Naz.
because that is buzzy, eh? And I mean, that's even for myself. Like, I still remember the first time I've seen artists like yourself come through New FM or just seeing you guys on stage, and I'm like, wow, that's buzzy. But also because it's representation, right?
Yeah.
We're in a day and age where you guys are representing the Pacifica community worldwide. I heard a little something, but you tell me, you confirm with me. No, you confirm with me whether what I heard is true or not. I heard you still live with Brother D.
I did. So I lived with him when I first moved here.
Yeah.
So, I think that whole 2 years that I was here, I lived with Brother D. So.
What is that like moving? I mean, one, to move away from home.
Yeah.
Two, you're not that he's not family, but, you know, not with family offi and not with like an auntie and uncle stuff. And then what is that like to come in and then move and live with people who are like in the industry to obviously help you with the journey?
I think it was all right. Like it wasn't as bad as, you know, you'd think, like, because with me, like at that stage in my life, I was a pretty outgoing person. So like, you know, like
how old were you at the time?
I was 19.
Oh, yeah.
Or just turned 20. And then, it was easy. Like when I moved in with him, it was pretty much just like having one of my bros. Like it wasn't anything like he didn't make it feel like when we're at work, and then we're at home. So like we still have a really good relationship in that sense. But like, it was actually all good.
You've been part of Dawn Red Entertainment, and then fill us in on the changing from that to becoming eventually, well, I think Wafetahanima, you guys decided to become an independent artist.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes I don't quite understand what that means and the workload it means for you as artists when you become an independent artist.
Yeah, I think for me personally, it was I just felt like I needed to grow. I mean, like I had been an artist under a label, and I didn't understand the full mechanics behind, all the music sort of stuff. So I wanted to be able to grow in that aspect. And I think if I had never had done that, I think I would have continued to drive myself crazy because I'm one of those guys who like to know everything that's going on. You know what I mean? So I think that was one of the biggest moves for me. I think if I felt that it was time for me to take the road on my own and grow as an artist, but also like understand the whole mechanics of how this industry works.
Do you get it more now?
I understand it way more. Like, say for example, like going back to the Dawn Raid stuff, when I was saying before, there was other things that was going on. I started questioning a lot of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
But then now that I'm my own independent artist, I understand it a lot more. So like it's almost like I had to go out and do this to be able to answer what I was sort of thinking in my head. You know what I mean? So
was that scary though, to become an independent artist?
Not really, because I was independent before I came to Dawn Raid. So like Slow Wine was actually done before Dawn Raid.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of the biggest drives why Dawn Raid and that wanted to sign me.
Yeah.
So I think Slow Wine and Blue Bayou was my first song with Dawn Raid. But yeah, they literally came. So I think I had been, even though it wasn't full-time professional, but I had really been independent from the age of 14 because I was creating and putting out content, on YouTube for years. Yeah. So I don't think it was scary in that sense, like I always, I'm one of those ones, like I am very confident in my talents when it comes to music, you know what I mean? I won't go out there and flex around about it, but at the same time, I know in my heart what I'm capable of musically, and I'm a big believer in what I do. So.
I think that shows though in the longevity of your journey so far, because you have the faith in yourself, and you're not, a lot of the times I think, especially when you grow up Pacifica and sometimes be told be humble and stuff, you can't fear becomes a barrier for people to give things a go. And I think one of the coolest things though for you guys, and always a little scary because obviously now you're in the you've been in the public eye for a long
How's your
time.
play to go? I'm doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit scared because I'm like, man, I'm having a ulufu over there with your Play-Doh. But family and culture.
Yeah.
We get to see you and your wife and your kids via social media. And what is that like having that part of Swiss's journey in your whole career?
Man, sorry, what was the question again? So like, you
Family and culture.
Yeah, I think it's a big thing to me. I mean, family's always been very important, especially, you know yourself, Tongan families, man, family is everything, you know what I mean? We, not being biased, but like the Tongan bond is a really strong bond, you know what I mean, in between family. Yeah, and I think, it comes down to stuff like, even like whakaapa and stuff within our family. We I always have this laugh and I say Tongan families are almost like a gang. They run like a gang, like you have your hierarchies and everything, but it's what works for us, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's where the bond is. Like say, for example, like, my oldest brother or, or like an older sister, for example, could annoy the hell out of me, but I would never disrespect them and step out of line to try and correct them, you know what I mean? Like, obviously there's better ways to deal with it, or like, rather than, but I feel like those are morals and values that had sort of been installed in me and has helped me come, a very long way. But then also, yeah, family's very important anyways, but I mean, like, even my wife and kids, like just having them there, they sacrifice a whole lot for me, you know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing for me is that I get to show my kids that, you got to work hard to be able to, you got to work hard. And
I think it's so cool you get to travel and then your kids get to come along as well for the ride when you guys get to go to gigs. Did you ever imagine that life would be like that? You'll be doing tours and concerts and your kids would get to come along as well?
I'm actually really grateful that we're able to do that. Like back in the day, there was this whole perception of like, once you have kids, you're done. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So like, I'm actually really blessed that we're like, in a day and age, and that we've worked hard enough to be able to, take the kids, so why are you guys laughing at the Play-Doh, bro?
I don't know if they're laughing at yours or mine.
I did the orange hair because your hair's orange.
Excuse you, it's a brown.
I know you were going for blonde.
No. Oh, no. I haven't used purple shampoo. Do your kids enjoy it? Like, like that's beautiful. They get to see the world when you go and do your gigs and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, man, like they didn't. To be honest, they're spoiled. They didn't even understand. Like, I don't know. They're just like,
I'm on a plane ride.
Yeah, they're like, every time I come back, like if I go somewhere, I come back, my kids are like, oh, Daddy, what did you bring us? And I'm like, bro. There's just expectancy now, like, you know what I mean? Like,
they're like, give us something good.
Yeah, like they're always ready. But I mean, at the same time, like, this is why I do it. Like, you know what I mean? In a big way, like me and Trey have always said, like, there's things that we give our kids, and as much as, they might seem spoiled at times, but we're giving them some of the things that we would have, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not anything towards my parents. Like, my parents did their best and all, in raising us, and they did a bloody awesome job too. But I mean, like, like we want to give our kids, everything that they've ever wanted, But yeah, sometimes I had to kick them into line.
I mean, what are parents for? With the knowledge and the experience that you have now, Swiss.
Yeah.
What would you do differently and why in your music journey?
Man, to be honest, from the beginning, I would have taken things a whole lot slower.
Oh, like a slow wine, slow?
No pun intended. But yeah, like I think like I said earlier, like the drastic change from being like a kid who, just lived an average life to being someone who was, doing radio interviews and being on TV and being noticed out in public. I think I would have, or even prepared myself better.
Yeah.
Even stuff like, even understanding the industry and what I was getting myself into a little bit better. I think those are things that I would have think. But then at the same time, I'm a true believer in everything happens for a reason, you know what I mean? So as much as I say I would change that, like, I was never meant to be that way. So.
Yeah. You've had many EPs in between. So your first album and now you're officially your second album dropping in 2024. Why has it been so long? It's really, that's like
Yeah, it
island
is. Yeah,
time.
yeah, it is. I think for me, like, it was just like, man, like, I was with Dawn Reid, and that was like a monster label. Like, you know, for those who are watching this, like, being signed to a major label, there's like a whole bunch of money that's allocated towards your project alone and being able to market it and things like that. And I was just, they did a really good job at it. And it was such a successful album that when it came time for me to try and create an album, I was scared of being able to back up something that, you know, of that success, you know what I mean? So I think that's why it's taken me this long. Like I said earlier, I'm a big believer in my music, but like that, it was just, I think it was always being like comparing it to Lucky Man and things like that.
And how do you feel now that you're officially dropping the second album?
Nervous. I think my thing is that, like, I hope it's, you know, like, I hope it's what people have been waiting for.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And I hope that, it's like anything else. Like, I just hope that people receive it and feel everything that I put into it. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm singing on the mic, like, there's a feeling that I feel. And, like, as an artist, you only hope that it comes across, you know, in that same way.
Yeah, and if you know how when you perform some of the songs from this album, PEPA, if you ever need some BVs, like, I'm available if you need someone for backup singer. But with PEPA, I'm gonna call this little segment Swiss Vice. Now, my friend said, "Don't see this is a really lame game," but I don't care. So Swiss Vice means Swiss advice. So it's advice by Swiss, and I'm gonna go some of the your track list. Now, I want to be honest. I've had a whole listen to the album. My favorite song so far is "Can We Go Back." So for your Swiss Vice, what is a particular time in your life you wish that you could go back to?
Ooh, my wedding day.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would, just because, like, it was one of those ones, like, you know, like, wedding days is such a big thing, but, like, I would love to be able to go back, like, I always look back at my vows, like, I literally wrote it on the way to the wedding, and, like, I felt like I didn't do my wife justice by saying the things that I would have wanted to say if I actually took the time to write it.
To write it rather than writing it on the way there.
Yeah. Like, when I looked at it, I like literally did like a biography of myself and like where I met her and stuff like that. But like, I felt like it was, you know, I could have been a little bit more sentimental in like how I did it and like, put more effort into it. So
nice.
Yeah, babe, I hope you hear this and. Brownie points to that.
There's another track on there, Girl Like You.
Yeah.
What is your Swiss Vice to anybody who's trying to get a girl like you?
Like me or?
Anyone. Anyone who's trying to get that girl.
Just find someone who makes you happy. I think more than anything. Like someone who, like, it sounds cliche, but like, man, like someone who can make you laugh, someone that you love to talk to, and I mean, just do normal life stuff with. You don't want the kind of girl who, you know, who's just there for the party or is there for all the flashy stuff. Like, you want someone who's going to be chilling there on the couch in trackies with you on a normal day and stuff like that. You got to think about that stuff. So yeah,
love it. For the last Swiss Vice, better days. What's your Swiss Vice for people that just feel like they need to do something to have better days? Maybe they've woken up and they feel like, I don't want to do life today. The world's just bringing me down. What is your Swiss Vice to just have better days?
Understanding that there is better days, you know what I mean? Like, I think that would be my biggest thing is like, the reason why I wrote that song is actually called Better Days, and in brackets it says note to self, so then I can always look back at it and be like, it's me talking to me, really, like, you know what I mean? When I'm having the worst days, this is what I want to hear, and understanding that there's better days.
I love that. And just to wrap us up for today, again, PEPA and Ode to the Journey, it is officially dropping November 8th. It's the second album by Swiss. When it's all said and done, no pun intended in this one, Swiss, when it's all said and done and tomorrow doesn't come, what legacy do you want to leave behind?
I think my biggest thing as a musician is that, like, when I'm creating stuff, I just hope that it's always feel good, whether it's a sad song or whether it's a happy song. I love being able to contribute to people having a good time. And I hope that, you know, whenever anyone, you know, brings up Swiss, there's like a song or something that of a good time that they had, you know, that is sort of attached to that. Sure. Look at
Just gotta show our Play-Doh.
We'll go one by one.
You might have to bring the camera to mine because I can't lift it.
We'll do Swiss's one first. We'll show yours one.
Bro, I need more time, man. I told you guys, this is gonna be hard.
So you need to play more Play-Doh with your kids. Actually,
yeah, see that's all right. See, but if I had more time, you know, I could have done like a full like
oh no.
life size one.
Do you know we're like we don't have that much resources to do a life size one?
Yeah, I was getting to the nose. But you know, I was like sitting. I was like,
The
man.
bun is accurate though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I don't know about the color of the hair, but
Swiss,
it
you wanna go
is.
see your one?
here's mine. I can't pick it up. I was still doing your sote. And this is your beanie that you're wearing.
Yeah.
And here, the most important detail, can you get this? Tani Fokola.
Oh, yo. Hold up. Look. That's pretty good, eh?
That's pretty accurate.
Then can you come put your head over here? Oh no, it's just bigger.
You know what was hard? It was hard talking and trying to create. Did you find it hard?
No, I'm a woman. We are multi-skilled, us ladies.
Yeah, you're multi-talented by looking at your creation. I don't know.
This is why I talk.
You can multitask, but I don't know about multi-talented. No.